Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Doug Eve.
Peace to the God.
I can hear the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. Sometimes I feel like all all is lost, but I know it's not true. I wanna put up all my walls cause I'm not in the mood, but then I cut myself off from the rest of the room. I know that time can heal it all if you're patient and
All right, can y'all hear me?
it can all
Everybody
be
hear me?
worth it. All the searching, pain is never really permanent, but damn it hurts, man. I could feel all of the
Let me know if y'all can hear
it's
me out there.
concerning. I've been searching for a purpose, I hope it's worth it. This society is really trying me. Ain't no hide and seek, I hide to be far from anxiety. I need my space, I need my privacy. I need some silence, please, you're all too loud. You don't speak quietly, opinions violently thrown across every surface. It makes me nervous. Is the world honestly burning? That's all I'm learning. Hope that we can make a turn and start reversing all our minds and put the work in. We got some work, man.
Is that better? I turned it down. Turn the music down.
I can hear the demons call when they do what they do, and now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all. I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all. I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. Gotta get through this, life is a nuisance, tie up some loose ends. I try to be human, find a solution, my evolution. A place like this, it didn't exist, we made it like this. So you can go pick the bad or the good, got a glass half wish. I know, it's easier to hide than just to lay low. Not everyone in life has got a halo. I'm standing in the red inside a payphone. Just wanna break, no, I'm not gonna give in. Take a last shot, Michael J. Win. No, I'm not a robot, I'm in my own skin. Never get lost when thoughts pull you in. I miss the old you, we died with a purpose. All the energy around me felt nervous, scared I would pop out fast to the surface. Had to cut it off before you made me worthless. Torn apart, I've been torn and scarred. I had a given art, but now I'm thinking smart. I'm keeping up my guard, I'm hiding every card. A royal flush of love, you never know what's hard. With a back to the mat, gonna see where I'm at. I'ma fight like I'm mad, I'm a piece of the net. They can never be me, nice try, but they'll see I achieve everything while they stay salty. I can hear the demons call when they do what they do, and now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop.
Yeah. Is that better? How's that? Can y'all hear me now? All right, way better. Yeah, that music was. It's supposed to be background music going through StreamYard, but that's more like in front music. Anyway, all right, all right. Thank you, thank everybody for letting me know it was better. So we're talking about 1099A still waiting Q&A. Y'all could ask questions in the chat, whatever. Let me turn this off. But first things first. How is everybody doing out there? Everybody doing good? Are you getting your goals put in place? Are you working on being better than you was yesterday? This is my Reverend Knight book. I like to read from that book. Are you? Have you put? Are you one step closer to where you want to be? Are you not letting people discourage you from getting where you want to be? Are you not letting yourself be discouraged? Are you not letting yourself be distracted by procrastination? I know I struggle with that sometimes. Sometimes I get caught up on, allowing myself to just get distracted and getting some things done. And a lot of the stuff that I need to do just takes minutes to do, sometimes maybe an hour to a few minutes. And I put it off and I put it off and I put it off. And next, weeks have gone by. So what I learned is writing it down and being committed to that list. That's the thing that I really want to work on, get perfected this last half of the year. Half the year's gone. We're in July. It's July 9th already. 21 days left to this month. 21, 22 days is left to this month. Next, it will be August, y'all. August. Then September, October, November, December. We'll be doing a ritual all over again. And I know a lot of you I'm so encouraged by a lot of you because a lot of you are getting a lot of those things done. I'm getting reports that most of the things are checked off, if not all of those things are checked off. And that's good. So give yourself a good pat on the back. Give yourself a hand if that's you I'm talking about. There's people that barely listen to the show, but they know about the ritual. They hear me talk about these things, and then they go and put these things into place, put their affirmations into place, and they're getting those things done. So that's good. So we're having an effect all the way around. We're having a national effect, global effect. I deal with people in other countries as well. So one of the great things, I'm working with some people that are dealing with a religious issue, and I really feel good about them being vindicated through their walk, their spiritual walk. And I'm always telling you guys, whatever you do, connect it to your spirituality. It's not about I don't care what you believe. And I'm not trying to tell you what to believe. But if you what the heck? Oh, let me turn this off. My phone is going off because they got us. It's raining outside. It's storming outside. They I always tell you, whatever you believe, make sure you live it out through your commerce, through your relationships. Live that out. I know it's not popular. That's not what you're being taught. It's not popular to live out your spiritual walk and connect it to your commerce and everything you do. But I will tell you, if you connect it to everything you do, you will be protected. You cannot go wrong. I remember my parents telling me, and a lot of older folks said, hey, always, live by the Bible and you can't go wrong. And I know the context they were coming through on it, but they were right. You can't go wrong living by your sacred teachings. Because these sacred teachings were created in the beginning, before it got plagiarized and watered down. It was about keeping you connected and grounded to your surroundings, to the planet, to the universe. It was teaching you how to become connected to the source of where you come from. This is why you're coming like, is this all the truth? You're all confused because the teachings got changed over time. People, like Jamie Modestin said, it got hijacked. There's a set of people that are one of the most grounded and the most spiritual people in the world that really run the world spiritually, but unfortunately, they don't know it. And we've lost that connection because they got our females more interested in their appearance and vanity, looking at the physical self instead of the spiritual self. And if our females are looking at the the physical self more than the spiritual self, then because they have a very important role, is giving birth to the Messiah. Let me explain myself. When in the Bible, the text says God went to Mary and said, "Hey, you're going to have a son, and you're going to name him," some scripture says Emmanuel. He's going to be the Christ child. Do you really believe that it's just talking about that one individual, that one situation with Mary? Every female on the planet is Mary, represents Mary. Every female have the potential to bring forth the Christ child. See, these new age teachings make you look for this one individual called Jesus Christ or Christ, and that's the one and only Christ that you're supposed to look for, that's coming through to bring light into the world. Coming from darkness, bringing light into this world, bringing the knowledge, bringing the truth about who you are. That Christ was just a representation of who you are. That's why there's thousands of Christ stories out there, similar stories. You got the Hindu is Krishna, the Egyptian, what it was the Horus and story. So these stories are telling you how we are who we are, not who they were, but who you are and where you fit in this story. The man represents the injection of the Christ child, or the what do you call, giving the spark of life to the Christ child, and the woman represents the giving birth of the Christ child. That's every man, woman, and child on this planet. But no, they got you thinking, oh, that's about him. That's about the guy who got crucified on this cross, or some people don't believe that he got crucified. That's about him. And we're supposed to look to him only, and that's it. Not look with ourselves, but wait a minute. I keep telling y'all, I keep reminding you, Christ said to his apostles, greater things you will do than I. Meaning that our potential is greater. Meaning that I'm only coming to show you that you are Christ. And in the scriptures, it says, become one with me, abide in me. That's what he's saying. Abide in me, meaning to become one with me, align with me, but get on one accord in mindset, in spirituality. Wasn't about the physical, because the physical body was destroyed. It was destroyed in order to show that there was a greater power that resides, that rests inside of this physical body, that gets released once the physical body dies. So basically, you're in a physical prison. This is the prison, the body. This here. But it could be a prison or it could be a temple. It could be it could be both. It depends on your consciousness. If you're not operating in consciousness, this body will represent a physical prison for you, because you will live a life of anxiety, desperation, always worried about the outcome or the future of something, and not concentrating on and appreciating what you have now. See, that's the trap. But Christ came and said, renew your mind, change it, and realize your power. Realize you have a divine inheritance there for you to just go and take advantage of. See, the church gave you the idea that you had to wait on God to do something for you. You had to wait. Just wait. He'll take care of it. Hold up. I'm here to tell you it's already taken care of. You just got to align your consciousness with that idea that it's already taken care of. And then once you align with that idea that it's already taken care of, then it'll show up. But guess what? It was already there. The problem why you missed it is because your mind was not aligned with it. It's just like many times this has happened to me. I'm looking for my keys and I'm actually looking for my keys and I physically had my keys in my hand. Why didn't I see my keys in my hand? Why couldn't I feel my keys in my hand? Because my mental was not aligned with where they really were. My mental was aligned with the idea that I didn't have them and they were somewhere else. The only reason why you don't have anything or the wealth or the peace, the love and the relationships that you're not having, you have that. The only reason why you can't see you have it because you're not aligned with it. And you'll never see it if your mind is not aligned with wealth. Your mind is not aligned with having love in your life and peace, abundance, good. What are you aligned with? What are you watching? Are you watching things that help you be aligned with things that you don't want? Are you watching the news, mainstream media telling you what to believe? Recently, the Georgia Guidestones, they say an explosion happened and they got destroyed. Huh? With all of these events happening, you think this is a coincidence? Right now, we are in a time where the planet is elevating its consciousness, going to a higher mindset, a higher thought process. You can see it all around you. You see people thinking things and aligning with situations that you never thought. We see people who got caught up in all these other things, and all of a sudden, wait a minute, they want to make a change. People you thought would never align with these types of things. I used to be surprised. I'm not surprised. We're going to another level of consciousness. And whenever we go to another level of consciousness, when that shift happens, there's always going to be a certain level of chaos because the old has to be destroyed for the new to come into play. So don't be upset when you start seeing things dying off, destroyed. That's just part of the process. That's what's necessary in order for us to elevate. Don't sit there and worry about whether the government is doing this and all these. They're trying to get us. It's always, I see a lot of podcasts, YouTube videos pointing you in a direction of fear and pointing fingers at entities doing things to come after you. Now, what I just say, if you align with that, something is going to come after you. But if you're not aligned with that and you keep your mind positive, hey, world events don't dictate my life. What the economy, what the gas prices are, don't dictate my prosperity. What the food prices, I'm going to still eat. Because remember what I said, the divine creator left everything here for you to have. No matter what they raise the prices, what they raise the gas to, what they raise the rents, the houses, you will always do okay as long as you align with you being protected and having abundance. Because guess what'll happen? Your finances will shift, will elevate to meet the demand of that time. The people that don't survive these times are the people that sit there and worry, oh, I don't have enough. So they will always get not enough. Those are the people that get caught up. Those are the people that don't make it into the new system of things. Those are the people that don't make it because they're aligned with destruction. They're aligned with not having. They're aligned with worrying about how much food they got. I'm not telling you not to prepare for food shortages. Yes, do that. Prepare. But prepare from a perspective that you're going to always be all right. Because you always got to work your field. You always got to work the field, and your field is your home life. That's your field. You got to harvest that. You got to sow it, then reap it. So if you're sowing a mentality of not having, if you're sowing a mentality that you're always going to come up short, if you're sowing a mentality of everything's hard, that's how life will be. I'm amazed at my life and how things work out simply because I align with always having an abundance. That's why the church is called the Church of Infinite Abundance, because it's an infinite abundance. It's infinite. It's there. Just go grab it, get it. To the carnal mind, the physical mind, what I'm saying sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo. It don't make sense. I'm sorry if it does sound like that to you. One day it may sound different, but the only reason why it may not sound good to you is because you and I are not on the same conscious level. Not saying that I'm better than you. I'm just saying I think different than you. I believe different. I believe in abundance. I believe in happiness. I believe in peace. I believe in I'm always going to be taken care of. I believe in protection. Not physical protection like I got security guards. I have spiritual protection from my ancestors and the divine creator of all things, great and small. That's what I believe. And that's what I know is pushing me through. That's really. Sometimes I wake up, you know how you do. You wake up in the morning and for some reason in the morning you in that low state of consciousness and you're thinking about the most negative things that you could think of. Got to be careful. I got to work on that too. Got to be careful. I got to dismiss those negative thoughts and not act on them, because as soon as I act on them, it causes all kind of chaos for the day. I got to work on that. I got to remind myself that everything is always good. Everything is great. Life is good. Money is everywhere. Money flows to me freely and abundantly. And that's what you have to say to yourself. Okay, why are you always talking about money? Because in this system that we live in order to be comfortable, you need money. Yes. Maybe in another realm, another system, money won't be the mode of survival. Might be something else. But I live in this realm right here. And everywhere I turn around, this broadcast costs money. The equipment I'm using costs money. The lights I'm using to broadcast this costs money. My groceries in the refrigerator cost money. All of those things cost money. And that's why I'm talking about this 1099-A. People still waiting. Why are y'all still waiting on the 1099-A when God, the creator, gave you the power to manage your own finances? You don't need the treasury to write checks for you. To pay off your bills that you created. You created those bills. Oh, everything's prepaid. I know that stuff sounds fancy and good. There's tons of folks preaching that. The government's bad and they're not telling you that they're supposed to pay off your bills. That's what they're preaching out there. That's what they're teaching. Remember, the Bible said, beware of false prophets. Wolves in sheep's clothing. Sometimes people are wolves and don't even know they wolves. They think they sheep. Because they believe in fantasies. They don't believe in, listen, Why am I spending all this time with all this paperwork, sending all these things everywhere, when I could sit here and use the divine mind that God gave me and create a business and create commerce that way? Create your church and then have your church own your businesses. Make those integrated auxiliaries and do commerce. Because when you look in the Bible, all of the apostles that Christ went and found, they were doing jobs. Even Christ was a carpenter. Did you hear him talking about it? You doing some fancy paperwork to get wealth, to get something paid off? When people hosted them, when he came into town to speak, preach, teach, they had money. Why? Because people came and they knew the value of the information that he was given and they donated to him, whether it be with coins or with some expensive oils. That's not what God was telling y'all to do. The Bible that I read tells me, the way I interpret it, create a trust. Make a compact. Become a confederacy between me and God. Me and God. Make that confederacy. Put that together. And then go out into the world and do commerce. It says, be in the world, but not of the world. Meaning my business is not of the world. It's created from a higher place. And because it's created from a higher place, the energy that is infused into it is always going to bring me good commerce, good pay. You didn't see the Christ worrying about anything. He traveled around, and then when they came short, the only reason why he took those 5 loaves of bread and the fish and all of that and multiplied it that way, because the people saw lack. They felt they didn't have. So he created something. So the Christ consciousness created sustenance for them. But those are just examples. Saying, like I said, you will do better than that once you align with the Christ consciousness. You will do way better than that. Way, way better. You don't need HR 192. You don't need the bankruptcy 1933. You don't need any of those things. What you need is to elevate your mind and, okay, I have a home. I have bills. My job is not enough to pay these bills. What am I going to do? That means you need to put some things aside, some of these extracurricular activities, and start working on controlling your finances so you can pay the bills. The energy you put into all of this nonsense that they're teaching on YouTube and other places that gets nowhere. These people have been teaching it for months now, and no one has produced any proof of it being successful. Not one. Not one. No one is coming to. There was a couple, and I think this couple was honest, and I thank them for being honest. They were trying to buy a house, and they did a broadcast a couple of weeks ago and said, "Well, we had to give up on the contract because we still haven't gotten our funding." Now it's like 90 days. The person who was trying to sell it to them said they couldn't wait any longer. So they had to scrap that deal. And these are the people. See, this is what kind of frustrates me. Not kind of, it does frustrate me. You create a YouTube channel telling people that they could do these processes, but you haven't been successful with it yourself. I think that's not a good way to do things, because now if success doesn't show up, now you're looking like, okay, well, now you want to blame it on the government. The government is bad people because they ain't letting me taking my instrument. They not taking they took the 1099A and they not funding it. But if you take and apply the teachings that I'm telling you, you'll get your money. You'll get paid. You see, I went down those rabbit holes and I realized real quick that I was wasting a lot of time on that and not spending a lot of time on the gifts that God gave me to present to the world. And I started concentrating on these gifts, and from these gifts, wealth came, prosperity came, peace came. And one of the greatest pieces of wealth that I have, greater than money and anything else, is that I control my own time. Me. No one else controls my time. And I really hate it when people try to. I don't like it because I'm so used to controlling my own time. I won't allow anybody to interrupt my space. We will talk when it's time, when that time comes for us to talk. Or we schedule. That's why I got email.com. You can get a consultation there all day long and talk about whatever problems you have at a specific time. You know, people try to violate that all the time. Want to call, hey, I got an emergency, I got a court case, I got this. Okay, yeah, you have a court case. But you still got to set up a time and we could talk about that court case, whatever you want. We could talk about these spiritual things all you want. I got this going on. I got that going on. Yes, I talk to people about court cases from a spiritual perspective, not from a lawyer's perspective. I'm not a lawyer. What I am is a minister of spiritual teachings, and that includes law, spiritual law. And the greatest law that there is, the greatest spiritual law that there is that you must connect your consciousness, your mind, whatever you want to call it, to spiritual things. Keep it on the higher things of God. The God that works through you, keep it there. And once you keep it there, then everything just falls into place. And I'm not saying that challenges won't present itself. It sure will. The higher you go up in this consciousness thing, the bigger the challenges come. Because it exposes all of the things you need to work on. I get exposed all the time. The more I feel like, man, that was another elevation, boom, I get exposed. Oh, you still got some untruth in you. You got to go fix that so you can have more truth than untruth. And what's the definition of untruth? Untruth is simply if you're not aligned and realize that you are divine, infinite, spiritual, and that God works in you, works through you, God is in you, comes from you, that's the truth of you. Anything other than that is the untruth. Anything, because once you understand that aspect of yourself, everything else just falls into place. The money, the home, the peace, the commerce, all of those things fall into place. Starting from there, you can't start from the bottom. You got to start from the top, and then it'll take care of everything below that. So yeah, the people are still waiting. That's what I got. 1099 still waiting. Q&A. If you got some questions, y'all can put it in the chat. But I get people, oh yeah, the reason why it didn't work is because you got to do this and you got to do that. And then they leave these comments on my page with these things. Let me go to a comment that I had on my page. Here it is. It's a comment on my page from charges are because this is when I did 1090. What's the name of this one I had done? It was some video I did on 1090 a few months back, and this is the explanation. Charges are because the CDs were liquefied. They used it for personal gain rather than living their lives. People who have success don't go flossing or showing it off. They keep low as it to not being attention to themselves. That's how it's written, working smarter. So I'm like, okay, you're saying people have success. They said personal gain. Well, why would you do it in the first place if it was going to help you get personal gain? And the second, so here's my question. This is what I asked. Here's my reply. So you've been successful? Question mark. Now they left that. I responded to their thing within an hour of them leaving that message. I still ain't get an answer to that. See, that's what I'm talking about. People come in and share their 2 cents about, well, this is why it doesn't work and why people are not successful. But when you ask them specifically, how did it work for you? It always goes silent. Excuse me. Let me drink some water here. They go dead on it. So the people that get it, they don't tell nobody. But they were all in the mix when they were teaching it. Why all of a sudden you going silent now? No, you're going silent because you ain't get success, and you don't want to look like you don't want to look like an idiot because you was running around there preaching that it worked. Yeah. You see? Somebody said, peace, God. Well said. No one shows proofs. This is why I listen to Hindsight Radio. It's turning me to a higher frequency, and I give thanks to your time, interest, and energy you put into the message. Thank you. That is from Mornell Bay. Thank you for saying that. Right. See, if I can show y'all how to elevate your consciousness and start doing commerce, you wouldn't care about doing a 1099A because you'd be bringing in so much bread, it wouldn't even matter. How about that? Spending energy on getting that. It's so many opportunities out there around you. You got talents all around you. Man, you got talents. Hold on. What is this? What is that? The parable of the talents. And this is really what we're dealing with right now. Why we're not reaching our potential, because we wasting talents. We wasting talent. And the divine have left you in charge. I know churches have preached this too. I've heard these teachings before. It says, the parable of the talents. For it would be like a man going on a journey who called his servants and entrusted them his property. This was built for you. All of this was built for you to take advantage of and make grow and double and triple. Do whatever you have. To one, he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to each according to his ability. See, it shows that we all have different abilities. Some people are going to be super wealthy. Some people are going to be okay wealthy. And some people just going to have enough. And some people are going to just not have nothing. Why? Because it's according to your consciousness. That's the ability they're talking about. Then he went away. See, the divine creator of all things is like sitting back. What you gonna do? Then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna, hey. And what are we talking about? What comes back? Who is how? I'll break that down in a second. He who had received the 5 talents went at once and traded with them, and he made 5 talents more. So he had 5, he made 5 more. He doubled it. But he who had received the 1 talent, so also he who had the 2 talents made 2 talents more. But he who had received the 1 talent went and dug it in the ground and hid his master's money. Now, let's talk about that 1 talent person. Because most people fit right in that category, the 1 talent person. How do you fit in that? How do you fit? How do you fit in there? Hold on, I got it. I'm gonna come back to that. Most, I would say, majority, 80% or more of this planet is in the 1 talent category. Let me break this down for you. You have talents. Some of you have an idea of your gift. Some of you is trying to figure it out, but you got a gift. But you chose to bury your talent in the ground and go get a job because you felt the job was more secure. Somebody else who had 5 talents, who created a business and doubled their talents, got you to come work for them. Put your talent in the ground, buried it, and you're working and making them grow there. Because think about the guy with the 5 talents, right? He had to work that. And he probably put other people to work to make it work. That's the corporations today. They're working their talents. Whoever had that idea is working their talent. Steve Jobs working his talent for Apple. Bill Gates worked his talent for Microsoft and all the other things. He's about to buy thousands of acres of land. He's working his talent. Don't hate on him. These other groups of people, like the Jewish people, the Jewish communities, and all of these other, the Asian communities, the Korean, the Chinese, all of those different, they're working their talents. Why? Because you go see the what we call Asians. I don't like to really use that. I like to say Korean because they have ethnic groups within them. They have the Chinese stores, the Chinese food stores. They got the hair business. They into bringing you from New York to the South. They're increasing their talents. See, they're on the level of the 5 talents. See, they were left with the same opportunities you got. Oh no, the government puts them in business and blah, blah, blah. You don't think they had a hard time at one time? You can study the history of this country. Study the history of their country. They struggled too. But then they woke up and said, let's work together and increase these talents. No, let's go back to the 1 talent where most people fit in. You got this 1 talent. Instead of working your talent, you go to the safe job. You go get the bachelor's degree, the master's degree, so that you can go work another, what you call safe job, to increase the talents of the other people instead of your talents. That's what happens. That's the story of the worker with the 1 talent. Is that you? Why are you still working that job you hate? Why? Oh, because I need it. I gotta pay my bills. I can't just quit. And the most people would tell y'all, don't quit. Not right now. But if it's not right now, then when will it be? Because I've been talking to people for years now, and they're still working the same job, talking about they're getting their business off the ground, and still nowhere close to being successful with their business. Why? Because you cannot slave for 2 masters. You will hate one and love the other. You cannot do it. It don't work. I tell you from experience. I had that epiphany one day sitting on the couch while I had my business going and I was working for a company. And I had to say, and something said, and I asked myself, how come I just can't get this business going? Why is it's just getting just enough and this and this and that? And the voice went off and said, the higher self said to me, bruh, you can't slave for 2 masters. You will hate one and love the other. And then that light bulb was there. And then I made a decision. I'm quitting. And I'm going to work my business. And I'm going to work it. And I know it's going to be successful. I'm going to make money. I'm not going to think about not being successful. I'm going to think about being successful. And it worked. And here I am today. Now, the funny thing is, that business took me to this business. See, that's what happens. When you go after your talent, he had 5 talents. That means that's 5 different businesses. And he created another 5 different businesses. Huh? Well, what are you talking about, Akeem? It's what I've been telling y'all to do. The Bible been telling y'all to do that. What did they tell you? You need to have 10 streams of income. The Bible just showed you right there. In order to be wealthy. 10 streams. It's written in the word. If you want to be wealthy, you need 2 streams of income. But if you want to be broke and you want to continue to work for the master and do nothing, you're going to have the one talent and you're going to bury it. And you're going to bury all of that, those great ideas you have in the ground and sit and wait for the master to come back. Now, who is the master who left you these abilities? The master is you too. You are the master. But the other two realized that they was the master. Which is the master is the divine inspiration and ideas of all of who you really are in your consciousness. That's the master. But the one, the slave with the one, didn't listen to the master. He left and listened to someone else. I'm just gonna. I'll wait. I'm not gonna. At least I have this and give it back. And how do you give it back? Because that one slave represent you leaving this physical realm without doing your talent. You this body dies. And you got to see what's left. Okay, what did you do? What did you lay out? One he brought back 5. The other one he brought the other. He had 4. 2 to 4. The other one 1, nothing. And that's what most people are doing. They go into the grave with their talent still buried in the ground. And when it come time, what did you do? Well, I just saved it. I had a lot of great ideas, but I had to take this job. I had to get this degree. My mama told me this. They said this, and they said nothing to do with what the master had in store for you. The mastermind, the true purpose of you. I got to realize one day the bill is going to come due. One day you're going to have to show what talents you got. One day. And that's going to be the time when this body expires. Do you want to go to the ground? Do you want to leave this body in worse state than when you came in here? Wishing you would have, could have taken these opportunities. But see, opportunities are coming at you all the time. They're there. They're slapping you in the face. But guess what? The best opportunities always come through a situation, person, or thing that you don't like because it represents truth and work. See, the messages you need to hear is coming from that very person that you don't want to listen to, that you don't like. The success that you're looking for is in that thing that you need to do, that you don't want to do, that you don't like to do. And really, when you really look at it, you got to overcome yourself. You got to overcome yourself because it's all mindset. It's all it is. Like with these 1099, it's a mindset. It's a belief system. People got you believing you could do these fancy things, and all of a sudden they're going to send you a check, and you could just give them paperwork and walk away with a house, walk away with a car. And 7 years and counting, I still haven't seen anybody be successful with that at all. Not even in the back channels with so-called private. And I know a lot of people at this point who's really been working at, who really believe they can pull this off. No, it ain't come through yet. You know, I'm waiting. I know people who have tried it 3, 4, 5 times. And every time they come, well, this is the new way to do it. I was missing this. See, it's always blaming the people. They made a mistake. You didn't do everything right. No. what you didn't do right is you started working on that in the first place. You believed in hype. And the guy who's been promoting, all of a sudden, he disappeared. And I noticed the people that have been teasing it, they ain't even hardly doing videos on it anymore. They come, they used to do videos once, twice a week. Now the videos are coming few and far between. And eventually, like so many before them, they stopped doing the videos. See, it's subversion, it's distractions, because they're only teaching the stuff they taught 10, 14, 15 years ago. Maybe even more. This stuff it's new to the people that just listening to it. But this stuff is not new. So all of the governmental entities are fully aware of what you're sending in. You're not the first one to send in this paperwork, and they look at it, oh, here we got another one. And they just throw it off to the side. Here we go. Here's on. We got to become individual banker that tells us in the congressional record. See, I hear what you're saying, bro. No, what you got to become is connected to the divine spirit, the spirituality, create your trust and start working in trust, and create your church, your ministry, and start working through there. Because that's where all your freedoms are protected, right there. We got to become individual. I've heard that one too. See, boss secured party. I got to call you out. So since we got to become individual bankers, you put the idea out there. How did it work for you? How's your individual bankerhood working for you? Tell me. You put it out there, so you must have some information that everybody else is not privy to. You saying what we got to do? I'll wait. Give you time to think about it. See, these are the things that I'm talking about. People make these blanket comments, these generalized comments. We got to become individual bankers. Okay. You're individual. Okay. Okay. So you're an individual banker. I take it. See, if you're going to come to my channel and make these statements, I am going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you and ask you, put up or shut up. Anything, if you ain't got proof back in it, then don't just do yourself a favor and don't comment. Because you're going to get challenged here. DJ B Thunder said, it didn't work for me. I am a private banker. You want to be a private banker, create you a church, bro. Create you a ministry. And your ministry can be whatever you want it to be. You see? Y'all don't even understand what that private public really means, because isn't we supposed to be operating in the public, in the republic? So really, republic, become reestablished with the public. All these corporations are private. Those are private corporations running their business the way they supposed to be, way they want to be. So really, they got you looking at that whole private versus public backwards, because your service to God, your creator, is supposed to be public. Everybody's supposed to know your walk and who you are and who you represent, who your business represents. That's public. Oh, see, if y'all came to the seminar, I'd have broke that down to you and showed y'all that. The Most High made us priests and gave us instruction we must obey. Right. Absolutely. it get Irish as you come knocking at your door for these private bankers. Right. Absolutely a maxim. Shout out to you. Yeah, they're always coming for the private bankers. I'm a private banker. I'm this and I'm that. What's funny about when people get caught up, they never bring up the spiritual thing. They try to bring up these documents, the bankruptcy, the HR 192, and all these other UCCs. Do y'all know that that's man's law? But man's law has no jurisdiction over God's law. Operate from God's law. Operate from there. It has no jurisdiction. I hope this is clicking. No jurisdiction over that. And they have ordained the Bible as the word of God. So why y'all not using that? Why y'all not using that to y'all advantage? I use it to my advantage. I do. And just this show is just a reminder that I got to go even harder. I got to go even deeper with that. Because sometimes I allow people to distract me from the purpose, what the real truth is. Because everything's spiritual. Everything is connected. This all came. Everything you see, touch, and feel came from spirituality. Came from the Most High. These companies, the government, they all came from them. So I'm not here to hate anything, hate on anything or anybody. What I'm here to say is connect your walk, your talents to your spiritual walk. See, that slave with the one talent had not an ounce of spirituality in him. He was just thinking straight physical. Because all he was thinking about, all that's work, and he came up with an excuse. Let's look at it. Let's go back. Let's go back to that. It says, so also he had 2 talents, made 2 talents more. But he who had received the 1 talent went and dug in the ground and hid his master's money. See, the divine creator gave you power. And what you taking that power and you hiding it away from the world. You're supposed to put that power out there, present it. Now, after a long time, the master of those servants came and settled accounts with them. See, the master coming, he's going to settle. What you doing? And he who had received the 5 talents came forward, bringing 5 talents more, saying, Master, you delivered to me 5 talents. Here I have made 5 talents more. See, that's appreciation. When you're not operating in the power that God gave you, you're not showing appreciation for what you've been given. You actually blaspheming. Right. I have made 5 talents more. His master said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful for over a little. I will set you over much. See, when you operate in your talents, like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, all of them, they operate in their talents. And they see, if you see how Steve Jobs started off and where this company is now, he got more. 5 talents is well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. What does that mean? Enter into the joy of your master. That means enter into the joy of the higher levels of your mind, the consciousness. Because once you operate in there, it's a constant state of euphoria, constant state of joy. Because you know where your sustenance is coming from at all times. You know that it's already taken care of. You already know that you have abundance. And he also who had the 2 talents came forward saying, Master, you delivered to me 2 talents. Here I have made 2 talents more. His master said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. See, even the one with 2 talents got much. Enter into the joy of your master. He also who had received the 1 talent came forward saying, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping. See, now he's kissing ass right now. He's starting to kiss because he know he didn't do anything. And some of y'all are doing that at the job. Kissing the bosses behind, hoping he gonna give you a raise. Right. Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow and gathering where you scattered no seed. So I was afraid. Now, the other ones who had did the work, they didn't do a whole lot of talking. They just said, here, this is what I did. They didn't have to fluff it up with fancy words. They didn't have to brown nose. Because that's what this one is doing. The one, because he knew he was lazy. He good for nothing. He was wicked. And what does wicked really mean here? Wicked, it's wicked to sit there and waste your talents, because I'm about to read it, because it's telling, it's going to say that. Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow, gathering where you scattered no seed. So I was afraid and went and hid your talent in the ground. Here you have what is yours. But his master answered me, you wicked and slothful servant. You knew that I reap where I had not sown and gathered where I scattered no seed. What? Do y'all understand the power of that statement? Let me read it again. It says, you knew that I reap where I have not sown and gather where I scattered no seed. See, the master is operating at such a level of high consciousness, high spiritual consciousness, that money just flows to him even where he hadn't laid a seed. Because his mind is a magnet for abundance. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. You don't have to lay the seed. If you put the spiritual mindset first and operate in that, it's just going to flow to you. Just come to you. They'll be begging you to take it. Then you ought to have invested my money with the bankers, and at my coming, I should have received what was my own with interest. So at the minimum, he said you should have put it in a bank and collect with interest. But wait a minute. Isn't these people trying to tell y'all to open up non-interest bearing accounts when this scripture says you need to put your money and collect interest on it? Oh, I just flipped it all on his head. I just flipped the whole thing on his head right there. But see, you got to understand the master's coming from a spiritual place. So he got his church. Everything is aligned. So he can put his money in an interest-bearing account and not worry about the tax man. Why? Because he's a church. Churches are automatically tax exempt. That's it. I'm going to stop right there, because these teachings is for my members, people who get into my membership. I start breaking all this down. It just shed there. And what they've been teaching in this community, you open up a non-interest bearing account. Because this and that. They give you all these fancy reasons. And this scripture just said this right here. Then you ought to have invested my money with the bankers, and at my coming, I should have received what was my own with interest at the least. So take the talent from him, give it to him who has the 10 talents. For to everyone who has will more be given, and he will have abundance. Abundance comes from having, not having. So if you have a not having mindset, you will always not have. So you must have the having mindset. But from one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. Isn't that so true? The people who have the least always lose more. They find themselves in situations that just keep taking from them. And they say, oh, Paul, woe me. I just can't get it right. You can't get it right because your mind's not right. Your thinking is not right. Your spirituality is right. And cast the worthless servant into the out of darkness. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of the teeth. So cast that servant into the dark place, into the place where you can't see where your abundance is coming from. Man. Y'all, I just dropped it. Y'all might have to go listen to this recording again. what I just read. Because right there is the template for commerce. That scripture right there. So who's out there? Let's see. 736. Man, I've been talking for a good minute now. We got a good amount of people. 33 people on an improv tour. Man, I gotta keep it coming. I gotta keep doing these recordings. Press the like and subscribe button, please. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. When you do that, that helps the word get out, because this message got to get out. You know, get people stop chasing these fantasies, these things, unproven scenarios. Everybody that works with me, I only teach y'all from a place of application. And if there's something I haven't done, I send you to the person that I know has done it. Okay? All right, let's see. Happy Saturday, Corinne. Peace. Loyal supporter. Gaines Gerald. I got it. You know, Corinne and Steve, I have to apologize. I haven't been able to show the products that you have because I moved. I got to get all that reorganized, and I'll get that. Trust me, I'll have it back up and running. But if y'all got more products y'all want to promote, I know y'all starting a lot of businesses. Y'all need to send me that stuff so I can put it up here, so I can promote it here. All right. Gaines Gerald, peace to the gods. Peace, God. DJ B Thunder, evening, everyone. Jamie Modeston. He said he couldn't hear, but he was up here. He had the fist bumps. Who else? C King Bay, peace. JDL, peace. Mikey G13, peace. CPD. Mikey G13 again. Marnell Bay. He's the one, I had him up. I highlighted him early. I'll give shout out to Boss Secure Party since I called him out. I put him up there, you know. Peace. Thank you for tuning in anyway. Amexum. Peace. What you got up here? James Wright. Oh, yeah. Well, we got to get a date, y'all. Let's get some dates together, Champaign, Illinois. I'm ready when y'all ready. Okay. My schedule right now through July is booked. August. We're going to have to probably do it September sometime. Maybe August could work. You know, it's a lot of things going on in August. I'm ready to come. I think it's time. In this presence, would you consider this being caught in a snare? What do you mean by caught in a snare? You got to break that down. Like, what? Elaborate on that question. This is his question. In this present system, would you consider this being caught in a snare? What system? Present system or what? Help me. Clear your question up. I'll give you some time. I'm talking to Senior Private Bank, ENT. What are you talking? James Wright said, let's do it. Let's do it. Let me look at the calendar. Maybe I could squeeze one in. Man, y'all, I've been running all summer, be honest with you. For the last 4 weekends, I have not been home. I just did the seminar in New York, which was a good success, a huge success. I want to do another one before the year is out in New York. Disciple Ministry just showed up in the house. Yeah, you missed the teaching, man. You're gonna have to go back and watch the recording, man. I dropped some heavy info. Heavy info. All Annette said it was great. She was there. Thank you for that. Drop some information. I'm gonna get those emails out to you guys before the weekend is out. Okay, I'll get it out to you. The slides that I presented, I will send that to you guys. And that's when I do the seminar, I give the information so they can review it at their leisure. I'm waiting for this private bank guy to clear, but I guess he don't want to clear that up. So since he don't want to clear that up, let's see what else the spirit got me wanting to say. Oh, you know what? I got to give a shout out to my baby brother, my little brother, little big brother. He's about as big as me now. He's in his 40s, but he's 8 years younger than me. He bought me this as a wedding gift. He bought me this Invicta watch. He know I like Invicta, and he bought me this. It glows in the dark too. It's a nice watch. I like that, man. I appreciate it. So I'm wearing it in honor of him. He bought me and my wife a watch. He bought her one. He bought us some bling too. Thank you, little bro. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Add that to the collection. I hear you, bro. I know you've been working, so you just have to catch the recording. And I gotta return your call. I know you called me a couple of days ago, and I said I was gonna call you back, but then I got caught up. But I'll give you a call probably tomorrow sometime if you're available. All right. All right. Shouts out to you out there, Disciple Ministry, and to the family. I know them personally, good people. James Wright, I know him personally. I know Corinne, I know them personally. A lot of people on here I've met and we've talked in person. See, one thing I love about what I do and how I operate, I don't have to hide from you guys because I ain't lying to nobody. I ain't got nothing to hide from you because I'm telling y'all the real. And I know the real is not popular to some people because y'all want this stuff to work, the 1099. And I feel you on that. I feel you wanting to work. But, I feel like your time is better served working on your commerce. Yeah. Man, you're going to have to come down this way, Disciple Ministry, so we can go fishing in this area now that I moved to Chapel Hill. Come check me out. Yes, we do got to do another one in Maryland, DJB. We do. We definitely. It's time. Actually, that's funny you mentioned that. I was thinking that the other day. Okay. We got people who want to do something in California, Vegas, Champaign, Illinois. That's overdue. Champaign, because the last time I was there was over 2 years ago. Right when the pandemic jumped off. I think that was the last seminar that I did was Champaign, Illinois. What else? Who else? Okay, we got what did I say? Champaign, Illinois, Vegas, California, Maryland. These are 4 places. That's pretty much the whole year. And then I want to do another. That's 5 seminars. It look like I might be doing 2 seminars a month. Back to doing that. I don't know, y'all. Those plane rides can wear you out. Getting there, I love doing the seminars. But it's always that period leading up to be right before I start speaking that I just, can I get through this? Like when I just did the one in New York, the whole time I was distracted in my thoughts about, man, can I get through this? And then I'll be thinking man, maybe I should cancel it. These crazy thoughts get in my head. But then when lights go on, the camera go, boom, I just jump into action. And the only way I can do that, truthfully, the only way I can pull that off is I got to connect to spirituality. This is why I teach it so much. Because that's what gets me through. That's what makes it work. What you listening, when whoever gets to the seminar, what you're listening to is the ancestors, the spirit of the God working through me speaking. It's not me, the physical. None of it's me. Because I can tell you right now, I remember some of the things I say, but I don't remember everything. And it just comes out. Like, like for instance, this whole lesson, what I just talked about just now, I didn't plan on reading the talents that just came to me, and I just had to go there and break it down so that y'all can see what y'all doing with y'all talents. Is your talent buried in the ground? Do you want to look like a wicked and slothful servant? Is that what you want your life to be? See, James Wright said, I need a tour manager. I think you're about right on that because I need somebody to manage that side of it. My wife helps me as much as she can, but she got things she's doing. I really do. I need somebody to just set the dates up and I just show up. Just set it up because I have to put the work together, put everything together, and then present it. I do a lot. But it's time for me to do what you call a handoff. You know, I'll call you, James. I'll give you a call, bro. How about I'll call you tomorrow sometime. I know you got church tomorrow, in the morning. Uh, James is a pastor of a church, and we'll talk tomorrow. We haven't talked in a long time. We do need to catch up. We haven't talked in a minute. Uh Yes, I do talk to certain people. We conversate because I talk to the people that we on the same wavelength, and not necessarily they don't need a consultation to talk to me. There's certain people I let in, not many. So don't think you can just don't do it to yourself and just pick up that phone and call me now. Yeah, my number's on the website. It is. I don't hide nothing, and sometimes I'll pick up, and sometimes I'll be in a bad mood and be like, "Yo, what you doing? Call me." Some people got on my case at the seminar. I'm gonna be mindful of that. Just be more chill. All right, y'all. I really appreciate you guys getting on and listen to me share this message to you. And here's my word. I'm gonna do this more often instead of just once a week. I'm gonna do it more often. Okay, that's my word. Yeah, all of that. She's like, I don't know. I know. They got on my case. Now, a couple of people, yeah, you called me and you got on my case. Yeah. I do that. I have to admit it. I be breaking. Yeah, listen. Like I said in the seminar, I preach. I'm an ordained minister, but I do cuss. Okay, so if you have a problem with cussing, then you might not want to listen to me because sometimes I do curse. All right, and here's my out. When Peter got caught by the slave girl who said he was with the Christ, he cussed. He cussed out. He cussed her out after she kept accusing him. You can imagine what he said. So hey, that's me. All right, y'all, good people. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to everyone. Have a good Saturday. Have a good Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wake up in the morning and deliberately tell yourself how you want your day to go. Tell yourself you're going to have a good day. You're going to have an abundant day. You're going to have a peaceful day. Speak that into your day. Make that a program of yours. Do that every morning. Do it before you go to bed. Say those things. Be religious about it. Be a fanatic about your success. Be a fanatic about your abundance and your prosperity. Be crazy about it. Be so fanatical about it that people think you are crazy. It's okay because you be crazy, wealthy. That's a good combination to have. Okay? That is a very good combination to have. And with that being said, everybody, let me see what I'm gonna leave y'all with. peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth.
Peace to the gods. You're listening to Hindsight Radio. Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changes the nation.